Yes guys, you may have just witnessed the worst pay-per-view of the last 3 to 5 years from WWE. Elimination Chamber Results. Let's get into it and let's get my take on what just happened. Okay guys, so the first match was Daniel Bryan versus Drew Gulak. For me personally, that match was a nice little match just to get started for the pay-per-view. It wasn't anything fantastic. Daniel Bryan did actually win the match, but he wasn't really that great of a match. There was a lot of botches for me personally, especially when Daniel Bryan landed on his neck when he was trying to flip. That should not have happened, and that for me actually scared me. Being a good Daniel Bryan fan, should never have happened, and Daniel Bryan injuring his neck again is not what we want to see. For me personally though, the match should have maybe gone into WrestleMania. I think they've got some good potential there. Maybe he's just trying to push Drew a little bit further, but it's one of them matches where it should have been a pre-show match, or felt like a pre-show match to me. But Daniel Bryan came away with the win, and obviously it's going to push him into a bigger match at WrestleMania. But personally, it's a great match to start the night, so maybe it's just one of them matches that Vince really needed just to get the crowd started a little bit more. But anyway guys, that match was really good. So the next match guys was Andrade versus Humberto Carrillo for the United States Championship. And this is where my results went a little bit AWOL. I picked Humberto Carrillo for the fact that all the rumours recently with the United States Championship being stripped, I believed that Humberto was going to win that one, and it didn't. It was Andrade that won that one. It should have gone the other way. Humberto's had so many chances, and he's been a really good character, and he's really strong, and he's a good face for me personally. But he needs a title. Give him a title. Let him have a shot. Humberto deserves it. However, Andrade's character is now getting stale, and with everything that went on, it just led to a Carrillo win, but didn't. It turned itself on an Andrade win. So hopefully at Mania there's going to be some sort of strip there, but maybe I can't see it. I think maybe like Rey Mysterio's going to get involved. Obviously Humberto Carrillo's going to get involved again. Andrade is probably going to lose the title at Mania, but that would be a good choice for WWE to pick. Let somebody go over at Mania and not let Andrade keep the title. It's been far too long since we've had a good United States champion, and it needs to happen soon. Me personally though, that match was a good match. It was another hard-hitting match, the same as the Daniel Bryan versus Drew Gulak match. It was a hard-hitting match, and it did deserve what the crowd actually put into it. It was such a good match, and for me, Zelina added a bit more to that match. So that was a second good match as well. This was the first Elimination Chamber match of the night, guys, which was the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. This was a really, really good match and deserved to be the last match of the night. I will get into that a little bit further on into the video. But for me, that match was so good for a tag team match in general. But Otis actually, the main spot of the night was Otis actually went through the chamber. If you do catch the replay though, the door was actually open for him to go through the chamber. But he was open through the chamber, and it was a good spot for it. Yes, Otis and Tucker got eliminated just after that. Tucker wasn't happy. He'd ended up getting beat by Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode, which is probably going to lead to Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode versus Heavy Machinery sort of situation at WrestleMania. But was a really, really good match. Miz and Morrison did actually win that one against the Usos in the last two. Like I predicted, I didn't think they were going to lose the title. They weren't going to lose the title that quick. And for me personally, that was a really, really good match. And if you guys do get a chance, go watch that match. It was so fun. And you guys probably did enjoy it. If you didn't watch it yesterday, I'm sure there's some replays there for you. So getting into one of the main matches that's probably going into Mania is actually AJ versus Aleister Black. This match I predicted well. Aleister Black did come away with a win. He'd been fighting AJ. AJ was all over him. AJ was getting cocky. We all knew what was going to happen with the fact that Undertaker's probably going to be facing AJ at WrestleMania. So AJ goes for the phenomenal forearm after the OC get involved and start attacking Aleister. The lights go out, the gong hits, and out comes Undertaker. Undertaker's got the OC in like a chokeslam hold, but the OC are on the knees. AJ turns around, he goes to phenomenal forearm Undertaker, and Undertaker catches him and chokeslams him basically. So for that, it was the fact that Alistair actually won because of an interference by Undertaker. Yes, it was a no DQ match. It wasn't for a title, so it didn't really make any sort of situation worse. But the fact that AJ has now got a little bit more story going into WrestleMania, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's happening tonight on Monday Night Raw. For me, it was a really good match, and it did deserve that Alistair went over like that. So hopefully there's something bigger for Alistair coming. Hopefully it's not WrestleMania triple threat against Undertaker. I don't want to see that. I need to see Undertaker going out either clean, losing the match and retiring, or keeping the streak alive and retiring there. Go out on a win. Something better for him. This is our last title match of the night. This is the Monday Night Messiah and Buddy Murphy versus the Street Profits. This is for the Raw Tag Team Championships. If you guys didn't actually see Monday Night Raw the past week, Street Profits actually beat Monday Night Messiah. It was a good match, don't get me wrong, but it was one of them, we needed a toilet break match, and that was unfortunately the match. That was the toilet break match. For me, that match, Street Profits did win, and it was deserved a win. Street Profits going into WrestleMania now, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with them. If there's no more tag matches, like tag title matches going on Monday Night Raw, the Street Profits are walking into WrestleMania as champions. And coming up from NXT, like literally maybe six months ago, they've done so well and deserve this sort of shot. There is such a charismatic team that they deserve to walk into WrestleMania and possibly even leave WrestleMania as champions. I'm looking forward to seeing what WWE do with these, because they are so fun to watch, and I don't know whether it's going to be a bit like the Fiend situation where the Fiend's so over with the fans. I think the Street Profits are really going to be doing that. Maybe even not losing it at WrestleMania, maybe losing it in a couple more pay-per-views, let them have a good run with the tag belts. But for me personally, that match was so fun. Kevin Owens came out in that match. He came out of the crowd with popcorn, and I tell you what, it was so fun. Kevin didn't really do anything. He threw popcorn at Seth, and Seth was getting in his face anyway, so really that was just, it was just more of Seth's fault really that happened. But Kevin Owens had a major role to play in that match, and it was such a good role, and it's probably going to lead to Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. The Viking Raiders also got involved as well and took out AOP. That was good. That was a good spot. I don't want to see another 4 versus 4 match, though. That, just get rid of that. If that's on tonight, I do not recommend watching that, because it's happened so much. It's not a good point to watch that sort of match on Raw. It's now getting into the last month of WrestleMania. Getting into WrestleMania, and you don't want to see these repeated matches over and over again. So let's just get something new. Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. Probably going to be a no DQ match the way it's going, but it's such a good match. So that one again, guys, Street Profits won that one, and they deserved it, every bit of it. Now, guys, getting into our last match, and this is going to be the Women's Elimination Chamber match. And at this point, we were ready to turn the pay-per-view off. We knew who was going to win this. We knew what was going to happen, and we just didn't want to watch it. We were knackered by the end of the night, and we just couldn't be bothered watching it, because we knew how much of a shitfest it was going to be. The Women's Elimination Chamber match, the likes of Asuka and Shayna Baszler and Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott, Sarah Logan, and Natalya. I mean, Natalya didn't deserve to be in that, so Natalya wasn't going to win. Sarah Logan, Liv Morgan, and Ruby Riott, they've got their own story going on. And there was just nothing built up to that. Yes, there was a couple of hard hitting, but the second that Shayna Baszler came out with that, they made the Riott Squad look so weak, and they didn't need to. The Riott Squad are going into a main match at WrestleMania, and they made them look so weak. So with 3 sleeper holds, there goes the Riott Squad. Natalya got beaten down a little bit. There she goes, she's gone. And then it's literally left to Asuka And Asuka came out, she had a bit of offense, but even then it was another daft who does the finisher first is going to win sort of thing. And at the end of the night, Shayna Baszler came out on top. I couldn't really hear what the fans were like in that, but to be in all fairness, if they're anything like what we were at home, they will not have been happy. Yes, Shayna Baszler was going to win that, we all knew that, but it just wasn't a good match at all. It lasted 21 minutes. There was nothing really fantastic going on. There was no high flying, nothing like that. It was just boring. Like, it wasn't one of them matches that you wanted to see as a main event. You think of a main event, you're thinking of like the likes of Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch, or Ronda Rousey, or Nia Jackson, Sasha Banks type thing. And you're looking at Shayna Baszler, who wants to get on the main roster, putting on such a shit fest like that. That is one of the things that makes me want to just turn off WWE. Don't get me wrong, I do like Shayna Baszler, but she is not a main event superstar yet. Do not put her in the main event at all for a while. If she is one of the main events at WrestleMania, I'm not going to be happy, because that match is just going to be an absolute slugfest. We've got one boring character, which in Becky Lynch is the man, and then we've got Shayna Baszler going in and getting a championship. If Becky's going to drop that championship, Shayna's got to find some sort of charisma from somewhere. She is so boring, and she does one sleeper hold and everyone's out. If that's the way WWE got to book her, she's going to be stale by the time the next pay-per-view comes around. But anyway, guys, that for me, I'm just going to stop complaining about that match. For me personally, I do think WWE screwed up towards the end of the pay-per-view. The tag matches was the best, probably one of the best matches of the night. The Undertaker coming out was probably one of the best parts of the night. Apart from that, guys, it's just like I said the other day, it's a stepping stone to WrestleMania, and it's nothing fantastic. We weren't expecting anything great, but some of the matches did surprise us, and that's the main thing. It's set up for surprises. It's just all story. But anyway, guys, if you guys are new, please leave a like. Hit the subscribe button, it does help us out a lot here, and let me know what you guys thought of Elimination Chamber down in the comments below, and I'm sure I will reply to them. Hope you guys did like this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.